continue with the music, but we'll do it without it. So thank you so much for joining our live stream, our live session on B2B social media marketing for 2025. And we call it Playbook because it was really very important for me to deliver practical information. So let's do this. I will show you our presentation. So first of all, a couple of words about myself. I'm Olga Bondareva, and I'm the founder of ModumUp, social selling agency. And we help companies build mostly LinkedIn personal profiles to achieve business goals. But in general, we help with different social media activities and tasks. And I will be sharing practical information and the case studies of our work and some best practices of what really works for us. And I used to work for Microsoft, and there I was responsible for social media in Central and Eastern Europe region. And there I first learned about different concepts like social selling, employee advocacy, and of course a lot about like social media marketing for tech companies, right? And that's why our main clients right now for my agency are tech companies. This is how it works usually. But we also have clients in logistics and financial industry and some other clients as well. But tech is just, it's one love, I would say. So now I live in Austin, in Texas, and I live here for a year and a half. So everything is very new to me, but exciting and interesting. I study at Stanford Lead online, like 1 year online program. So I also, if someone from Lead, Stanford Lead watches me, yeah, hi, I'm saying hi. So let's go to our topic. What is social media marketing for B2B? It's definitely not just about managing a company page, because usually social media marketing, just these words, they give you this association that it will be about a company page. But we have a different framework. So I see it as systematic and complex approach, which consists of different elements and personal profiles, company profile, some live events like we are doing right now. Yeah, and LinkedIn ads and some other ads, influencers, and community management. And today I'm planning to talk about all of it. So it will be a lot of information. Yeah, it will be packed with insights, and I hope it will be really valuable and useful for you. So I usually do my best to provide useful information. So that's why, yeah, let's get started. So we'll start with the most important thing. And what is the most important for social media B2B strategy is personal profiles. Why personal profiles? Because people trust people, and actually personal profiles are the foundation of your B2B marketing strategy. I found a lot of data, a lot of statistics on why personal profiles matter, why they are important. And there are some examples, like IBM says that leads generated via employees' social media profiles, they convert 7 times more frequently comparing to some other leads. Entrepreneur provides some statistics that 82% of people are more likely to trust a company when its senior executive is active on social media. It's very important. And also, I think it's Nielsen, they say that 92 people trust individuals over brands, even if they don't know these people. Yeah, still they trust people more, like real humans. They trust them more than brands. And here, my favorite social selling approach comes into play. And what is it about? It's about expert social media profile development, but for business goals, yeah, to acquire clients, partners, or employees. Or goals like personal personal brand of top managers, brand awareness, and some other interesting goals. How this approach works. So first of all, you have a personal profile. It's important to choose the right positioning, design this profile, and when it's ready, we do the following steps. We connect on social media with the relevant people, with target audience representatives, because you have your own target audience criteria, or maybe even the account list, because if you use the account-based marketing approach, you have the list of the target companies you are interested in. Then when we are connected with them, what we do next, we generate demands, posting relevant content, sharing some case studies, sharing some interesting expert information about your area of expertise. And so it's about like thought leadership. Then we interact with potential clients or partners using some like soft interactions, like likes, comments, skills endorsements, and some other soft interactions. And the magic happens, I always say it, in personal messages or private messages. You can also use a more like a softer approach when you start with offering some valuable content or inviting people to your events or something else. Or you can go just direct to the point and just offer your products or services. It's doesn't always work. It's important to choose the right approach for the right market, for the right segment, for the right audience. And it's important to test different hypotheses, what works best for you and for your product, service, and other criteria. So how to develop employees' personal profiles and personal profiles of different people in the company. I would like to discuss this question on 3 levels, like personal level, department level, and company-wide level. While we are starting to discussing it, I would like to ask you, please share in the comments. Do you have this experience of developing personal LinkedIn profiles? Maybe it's just you develop your own profile, or maybe you are leading this activity inside your company or outside. So please share how it works for you. I think that the experience of different people is the most valuable thing, actually. So it would be interesting to learn more about what you do. So let's start with personal level. I've shared this case study several times. This is our work with Georgia State University for over 3 years. And here we work with the professor profile. So it's in individual level, right? We work with the professor and we help the professor develop his profile and create mix of professional and personal content that helps him build trust and provides a lot of networking opportunities. So many people come and suggest some projects, ask for consulting, maybe projects as well, and some other interesting opportunities with podcast hosts and media representatives. So it's exciting. And also we've started the 3 months lead generation campaign there, and for the audience of research institutes and pharmaceutical companies, and got during these 3 months we've got more than 2,000 new connections and generated 43 interested target audience representatives and 11 leads. So what the difference between interested and leads? That interested means that they ask questions, they share their emails, they would like to learn more, but they are not ready for a call or meeting yet. But leads, they are ready for a call or a meeting, and this call or meeting actually happen. So here's the difference. So personal profile can work both for networking, building your brand, building trust, and for lead generation as well. So the next level is the department level. Here, I would like to share our case study with the company. It's a well-known tech company called NetUp. And here we worked on different levels. So we started working with a marketing director, and the marketing director has become a a social selling advocate inside the company. So she was the first who tried social selling, and she showed on her example how it works. So through her profile, we attracted many IT professionals from target companies and interacted with them and generated 8 hot leads from large enterprise companies and passed them to sales team. So following her example, the regional director got inspired and she saw how it works, that personal profiles actually work. And we started working with her as well. And connected with potential clients and partners also from enterprise segment. And what happened? Her target audience grew 6 times, engagement increased, just tripled, and some top executives from target enterprise companies, they started coming as inbound leads. So they started asking questions, they wanted to learn more, they wanted to talk to her. So it really started working very, very actively. And inspired by the example of marketing director and regional director, sales managers began engaging in social media activities. We started consulting them and teaching them how to use social media to generate leads and to build relationships with potential clients and actually with existing clients as well, because some of them were account managers for existing clients. So this is how we can actually engage the whole department in the social selling activities. And here it's important, of course, to start with an advocate and then inspire others to do so. So as for the company level, here I would like to share my example, my times at Microsoft when I worked at the company and I was responsible for social media. And also as an additional initiative, I was responsible for employee advocacy projects as well. So what I've done there, employee advocacy program was very active and I've done a lot of different activities. I did something to inform people about social media activities. I've created some funny posters with memes, and I spoke at some internal events talking about how personal profiles work and that it's important to build your personal brand. I just organized a lot of teaching activities like lectures, seminars, some master classes, and I've prepared some guides for the teams, like customer-facing roles, and not only them, to be active on social media. And engaged, I actually organized some competitions, like with gamification, and it was a lot of fun. It was interesting. We even had some prizes for the winners, and they were highlighted by top managers. So it was quite fun. And it was important for me to form a habit of like regular social media activities among employees. And I also organized some regular activities, regular meeting where we shared some best practices and learned more about each other's experience and case studies, and regular ranking of the most active users on LinkedIn and social media in general. That motivated people to be more active. And so employees' engagements tripled, and they became very active on social media. So how to build a company-wide social selling culture? First of all, I would say it's important to start with identifying some social selling advocates. So like early birds for social selling, people or employee advocacy, people who are open for the experiment, who or maybe already active on social media. So they need to show the examples to others. Then it's important to launch a pilot project, maybe in 1 or 2 departments. Of course, involve top managers. So they need to provide their example and they need to approve these activities and highlight some maybe active people who are posting regularly and helps company to promote different products and services. And of course, next, you can scale it to the whole company. So of course, everyone is active. It's just, it's an ideal world, but many people can become active on social media, and you can do so just using this step-by-step approach. So let's return to our systematic approach. We've talked about personal profiles and we have many more elements. And I would like to talk about company page next, but before that, I will check the comments and questions. So I can see that Leonard is saying, yeah, hi, glad to see you, very exciting, insightful, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Leonard uses LinkedIn to build personal brand, great, great, and to connect and reconnect with colleagues and expand networking web. Yeah, it's important, it helps you both, I think, in business and career. Yeah, it's very important. So I will check for some other questions and comments, and then we will continue. Okay. Alina is asking about the recording. Yes, so the recording will be saved on the same page. Peace, hi. Yeah, he's in Austin and the founder and the CTO. Nice, nice. Evelina, hi. From Austin as well. Yeah, so you're from Austin. Yeah, Megan from New York, marketing manager. Nice to meet you, Megan. Nurlan from San Diego. I remember you used to live in Florida. Yeah, you moved to San Diego. Amazing. Congratulations. James from Mexico City. Nice to meet you. Simo. Yeah, Oscar, just saying hi. Yeah, hi to you as well. So Sylvester from Nigeria. Nice to meet you, Sylvester. And maybe I missed some comments, but I hope not. Also we have Serena from Sisland and based in Kenya. Yeah, Sisland is a company. Yeah, based in Kenya. Nice to meet you, Serena. So yeah, great. Please share something about yourself. Where are you based now, and what you do? It would be interesting. We'll back to that as well. So let's continue. Let's talk about the company pages. I believe that a company page plays a supporting role. So it's not like something the most important for B2B social media marketing strategy. It's the second priority activity, I would say, because personal profiles, they help you achieve a lot of business goals and they really help you to engage with your potential clients and partners, especially if we are talking about going to working with the enterprise segment. Just personal profiles are the best for enterprise segment. So what about the company page? Company page, of course, you need that. Everyone needs that because it shows that the company is active. It's important because when some companies or people decide whether they are going to work with your company, of course, they will be checking different sources like your website, your company's page, and some other sources they could find. And of course, your company page should be active. So it means at least once a month, you need to post something. So it's important that your page highlights some key updates and success stories from your company. So these people who will be checking, they will find something relevant, something interesting, and something result-oriented. It's the most important here. And also some additional, like another angle, is that a company page is important for your potential and current employees, because people sometimes they learn some new things, some news, some company from a company page. So it's a great source for internal communication as well. Of course, you won't post publicly something specifically internal, but still your employees, they read posts, they follow a company page. And of course, potential employees as well. So a company page has a huge potential for HR, brand building. So this is how you can use it as well. And it's less about B2B client generation, especially enterprise segments, but it participates in the decision-making process because people, of course, they check a company page. So some tips for a company page based on our experience. Keep it active. Post at least once a month. It's important, yeah, to keep it active. Use a clear and concise description it should explain what your company does in a clear way for potential clients or maybe potential employees if it's important to you. Include some case studies or practical examples among the latest 5 posts. So it's important because people usually don't scroll many posts, they scroll just maybe last 3 or 5 posts. And it's great if they find something practical and find some real examples and show people on the company page. Just humanize it as much as possible. It really works great. It builds trust. Share photos, videos of your employees, of your teams, and share their stories as well. It's really important to show people on a company page different goals for B2B sales, for B2B marketing, and for HR brand as well. So this is how I would recommend building your like B2B company page on LinkedIn. So, and of course, when we build a company page, we use ads, like LinkedIn ads or maybe ads on some other platforms. Let's talk about that, how it works. So ads, they help boost your brand awareness. And of course, they also help keep your company top of mind for your potential clients or partners, because they can see these posts, some maybe interesting materials from your company in their news feeds on LinkedIn. So why should we run ads? Of course, that's why. Yeah, the goal is to stay visible to target decision makers, so they will remember you and they can check out for your case studies. So it's about building awareness, building loyalty, and they will move to maybe from awareness to consideration stage because of your case studies, for example, because of your interesting, valuable content. And I would say that on LinkedIn, usually it's not like ads. It's not a lead generating channel. Of course, you can do it. You can do it definitely. You can generate leads using ads, but compared to other platforms, Facebook or Google or some other platforms, LinkedIn is less optimized for leads. And usually leads become and conversions, they become quite expensive because of that. So we usually sometimes we use LinkedIn for lead generation, but the main purpose is just to show some case studies, some guides, some articles to the target audience. So to provide this activities so they could learn about the company, about the case studies more. And here's the one of the examples how LinkedIn ads could work. This is our project for oil and gas company, and there we have done some lead generation and the followers growth. They were entering the MENA region and Latin American markets, and this campaign lasted 7 months. And during this campaign, we launched the projects aimed to generate leads and to attract followers. Yeah, and we've got quite low, I would say, cost per mile, cost per click, average cost per follower, and even cost per lead as well. So for LinkedIn, it's very low cost. So it's like $26 for a lead and $3 for one follower. So it's very, I would say, inexpensive and affordable for LinkedIn. And we've done it. So it's examples, but of course it depends on the market. If you are running a campaign in the US, we also do it a lot. Of course, your cost per lead, cost per follower will be higher, like twice or 3 times higher. So that's why it's not the most cheap, I would say, way to promote your brand on the platform, but you can try it. Yeah, just start with the test with small budget under $1,000 and test different hypotheses. So how it can work. Also, I would like to talk about LinkedIn live events, but before that, I will also check some questions. Maybe we can answer some questions. Yeah, feature adoption can help to keep highlights on top of the page. Yeah, another great tip for a company page, for example, for people who can find your case studies and practical examples on the page. Also, I will check some other questions. Do we have some? Great. So Nurlan is sharing that he uses LinkedIn to share professional interests, company news, and engage in conversations with and build meaningful relationships. Yeah, it's very important. Very happy to be here. Yeah, I'm happy to be here with you all as well. Yeah, Inka from Helsinki, Finland. Hi, Inka. Nice to meet you. So yeah, I think no more comments. Yeah, please, if it's comfortable to you, share your questions or comments, or just share where you're based now and what you do. It's also nice to learn more about who is watching us right now. So thank you. Let's continue with LinkedIn Live events. So right now, we are doing a LinkedIn Live event, and this is a great way to engage your audience and highlight your company's expertise or your personal expertise. And you can personally experience how it looks like, how it works. If you are watching it on the event page, it was organized from a company page. So here you can see that there are quite many registrations. If you are watching it from my personal page, we just started it from the page, so it's just an additional live stream. But you can also see that how it looks like, what the experience looks like. So why go live on LinkedIn? Why it's important? First of all, when we use LinkedIn to organize our webinars and live streams, it's much easier to invite the audience there and to get new registrations comparing to some other platforms, some other activities, because on LinkedIn you have this button invite, and you can invite up to 1,000 people from your connections to the webinar or live stream, and that's just amazing. So second, it's an excellent way to build trust and showcase your expertise, of course, because, for example, now I'm showing some of our examples, case studies, right? And I also invite to these live streams our clients, and we can do it together and build trust even more effectively. And it also provides opportunity to collect contacts, because the event page has a registration form, and we're getting the emails of those who registered, and we can follow up somehow if we would like. But no worries, we're not going to sell you something after this webinar. We are going to share the recording, the slides, and maybe some other additional materials just for you to learn more about social selling and about B2B social media marketing strategy. So one more benefit of LinkedIn Live events is the opportunity to view detailed attendee profiles. So LinkedIn provides you information about what kind of companies were in the top of your viewers, what kind of locations people were from, their job titles, their industries, and their seniority level. So it's quite a detailed portrait of your audience. So it's also very valuable, especially for B2B. And we host engaging, I would say engaging, because yeah, that's true, LinkedIn Live events every 2 months. So if you follow me or follow ModumUp page, you won't miss them. So we usually organize them about social selling, LinkedIn marketing, B2B marketing on social media, and in general. So we usually try to collect and a lot of information from our experience, some case studies, some best practices, and pack them into an insightful presentation. I hope so, at least. So let's go back to our framework. And here we've talked about personal profiles, the most important channel for B2B marketing on social media, company page as a supporting channel. We also discussed ads as a supporting mechanic, I would say, that helps a lot. And LinkedIn Live events as an amazing mechanic you can also use, that helps you engage and build trust. And we have two topics left here, community management and influencers. And we'll start with influencers, but before that, I will also check for questions. I can see the question from Andre. What do you think about developing brand more effectively through personal profiles or company page? Yeah, this is what we just talked about. That I believe that for B2B goals, and especially if your target clients are from the enterprise segment, it's more important to develop personal profiles, because through personal profiles you can connect to the right people, you can start conversations with them, you can start some engagement interactions with them, and this is how you will achieve your goal. You can for example, discuss a potential meeting or a call with them, and some of them will agree to do so, or you can engage with them in any other way. So there are so many formats and ways how you can engage with people through personal profiles. But for the company profile, the number of activities is very limited, and people trust people, and they don't actually like the interaction with the company, especially if they are business decision makers and top managers, like CXO level of the large enterprise companies. They usually don't feel comfortable and don't feel it worth their like time spending, valuable time, right? So that's why personal profiles, especially if you look great on LinkedIn, if you look like an expert and reliable and real person, it works. And how to look like a real person, it's important to share not just the company news, it's important to share some of your personal information as well, and show that you're a real person, not just the someone who reposts the company updates and spams people. Yeah, it's important. So before we go to influencers, I will check for some other questions. Maybe we have more questions and comments here, and I'll check in Telegram as well. So yeah, we have some actually listeners from Siberia. Hi Pavel. So there are some other people who are talking about AI. So we can discuss it if you have questions at the end. So, and do we have more questions or comments? I think we don't. So let's continue. Let's continue with the influencers. So influencers are very interesting and active people on social media with high engagement and with a very loyal audience. And how influencers can help you? They can boost your social media presence, definitely, because they have a lot of followers, they have a lot of large audience, and they can actually amplify your brand trust and credibility. How to work with influencers. For example, how we do it, we invite influencers to our events and podcasts. We organize the annual conference. It's called the Social Selling Con, and there we always invite influencers. Some people from large companies, some people with the wide audience, and like they are experts, real experts in these topics, because it's also very important to us. And we invite them, and of course they help us amplify our events and podcasts, because they have their audience, they have their personal brand, and it also helps to build trust for us, because they also bring their reputation to the table. So we also actually have launched a video posted on YouTube. It's called Personal Branding for Business. And we have some episodes with the amazing people, for example, Gunnar Habits from Active Campaign, Anna Naumova from Oxygen, David Houston from Vodafone, and it's coming. The podcast with Todd Swank from Oracle. So, and we'll have some other new episodes please follow us. Yeah, I think that these conversations, they are emotional, they are warm and valuable. So yeah, join us. And what kind of practical tips we can just give you to engage with influencers? First of all, you can invite influencers to speak at your events or join your podcasts. You can ask influencers to support or repost some of your company's updates, but usually it works on a commercial basis. So be prepared for that to to suggest something, to offer something. Also, the number 3, you can tag influencers in your posts if it's relevant, if it's appropriate. And of course, you can also comment on their post and like their post. And sometimes when you do so, you get many inbound connection requests after that from their audience. So because people read comments. And you can maybe create and launch some joint projects with influencers or some other initiatives. It also works really great. Be creative in it. So this. And about the community management, this is an additional mechanic on social media. It involves social media and sometimes it involves messengers. We can talk about it in details. So it helps build loyalty because you engage with the audience on a regular basis and you engage with them very deeply. It's important to showcase your expertise, and this is how you better understand your clients because they share their questions, their problems, they are asking for help, they are sharing some of their case studies. So you definitely learn more about your clients. Or maybe it's a community for partners. In this case, you're learning more about your partners. And the most important thing here is to choose unique positioning for your community because you are competing for people's time, especially if you are doing a community for business decision makers from large companies. You are competing for their time, and not just with other communities. You are competing with like online content, Instagram scrolling, professional events, meetups, and webinars. You are just competing with everything actually, and your community needs to stand out. And here is an example that there are quite many like boring communities for HR directors community. It's important to make it more interesting and specific, like HR directors for I know cybersecurity industry. Actually, I like the community around the events, and it's the community is called Cyber Marketing Society. So it's for cyber marketing professionals, and they have their conference, Cyber Marketing Con. I participated last year in Amsterdam, and probably I will be doing it for the new conference as well. And I like this positioning. And also maybe I have an example of HR leaders passionate about AI, but maybe it's not so like original right now because it's quite maybe boring already. But you can think about some other different ways how you can position your community. So, and we have some more questions before we continue. The question is, which the best place to build community in B2B professional services? Yeah, we'll discuss it. And the question is about the podcasts and their analytics, what kind of results in they give you, and when you get this effect. I would say that all of these activities on social media, they need to be scalable, and especially if you work with enterprise segment, your main KPI should be account engagement. So if you are engaging with the right people in your target accounts, target companies, it works. Yeah. So in this case, if you are engaging with your target accounts, it means that you are going to your goals, you build relationships with them, and when they have the need, they have maybe the problem you need to solve, they have some goals to maybe to start working with you, they will come back to you. And of course you can also reach out to them first. And the most important thing here is to be around and engage them in a systematic and a regular way. So this is how we measure it, that we engage with the target accounts systematically and see, for example, how fast and how effectively they convert to deals. But I would say that in B2B segment is a long process. It's usually, for example, a typical social selling project for enterprise segment. I recently I talked with a client, and we started having some deals closed with large enterprise clients after 16 months of the project. So it's usually about like 12 or even more, or like 1 year, 1.5 years a period of time before the first deals will be closed. But for example, for community, we have an experience that we are building. I will be talking about our own community that we are building, and we've got the first deal after 6 months of building this community. So it depends, but still it's important to plan long term and do some systematic activities with your target audience. So I will also check for some other questions, and then we will continue with the communities and the platforms, the LIMS question. So I believe we don't have other questions. Great. So let's continue. I will share an example first. Yeah. So let's do it this way. I will talk about the platforms first, because I think that we have a question, we need to answer it. So about the platforms for building a community, it depends on your target audience, of course. It's important to learn more about how your target audience behaves. Where is the place which is more comfortable for them and they really use it on a daily basis? You can, for example, use LinkedIn groups, but LinkedIn groups are usually not very active, but maybe they could work. So it depends on the industry. You can check for some examples of active groups in your industry. Slack communities, usually startups like them. So if you, for example, your target audience is startups or some digital professionals, maybe you can consider Slack. Discord communities, crypto industry loves it, gaming industry loves it, maybe some other industries as well. So you can check and maybe use Discord. Telegram chats, also crypto industry love that, and some maybe you can check, maybe some other people or industries love it. And WhatsApp chats. Actually, this community I've mentioned about, it was called Cyber Marketing Society and Cyber Marketing Con. So they are based on WhatsApp. So it's the US conference, US events, and they are based on WhatsApp. And this is how people can actually talk to each other after the conference and exchange some interesting insights. So I would like to show you the example, share our experience. We actually think 6 months ago, we've launched a community which is called B2B Market, and we've launched a Russian-speaking community because I'm actually originally I'm from Russia, and it was interesting to collect Russian-speaking professionals from around the globe. And we actually now have amazing specialists as members, like from SAP, from NetApp, from Siemens, from other different companies. So this is a fascinating community, and why we created it, because it's important to create space where people can support each other, collaborate, and bring value to one another, especially if they are, for example, originally they are from Russia, but they relocated and they feel sometimes lonely, they need support. It's important to be together and share some valuable best practices, and maybe share some problems even, and help each other. Actually, we build a sense of community, even if all of us are like somewhere around the world. And also we develop some loyalty, and we learn more about our audience. So people share their insights, share their problems, and this is how we really learn more about the audience, and we know what to offer to them. And we are planning to launch an English-speaking B2B marketing leaders community soon as well. So it's in our like future plans for the very, very near future. So stay tuned, and we will be. I will share how we will be collecting the audience to this community. So actually, how to build your community? First, what we usually do, we create a list of target companies you are interested in. They can be your potential clients or your existing clients as well, because of course it's important also to work with your existing clients. Maybe you can upsell some products or services to them. So it makes sense. Then we target people from the target companies and find them on LinkedIn. So we find these right people on LinkedIn and reach out to them, send them messages, invite them to the community. And we Okay, I'm back. I'm back. This is great. So we reach out to the right people, and we send them messages inviting them to the community. Of course, not everyone will agree to join the community. It's okay, but for people who are interested, we'll do our best to actually to make it interesting. And we maintain regular engagement with these people who will be part of the community. And I will share what kind of engagement activities we can do. So why don't you have a community for entrepreneurs? So I was asking, because in our agency, for example, when we have analyzed lifetime value of our clients, and we realized that it's probably obvious, but it's important to be backed up by data, that when we work with large and medium companies, we have the higher lifetime value. This is why we are mostly focused on large and medium businesses. And of course, we have many clients from like startups, from other businesses, smaller companies. But the club, for the community, we decided to focus on larger segments. And for larger segments, our business decision makers are marketing professionals, usually most of the time. That's why we decided to position this community as a community for marketing professionals. So maybe sometimes for some businesses, commercial directors can be our decision makers as well, or even PR directors, or even HR sometimes when it goes to some maybe training sessions for employees. But still, marketing directors and marketing professionals in general, our core target audience segment. That's why we decided to do this kind of community. So let's, for the platforms, we already discussed this question. And what to do inside the community. When you've built a community, you've attracted some audience, relevant, important audience to you from your target companies. What to do? Of course, it's important to do some monthly activities. We organize online meetings, or if your community is connected to some like city or state or something, of course you can do it on site as well, not just online. But we do it online for now, and on some expert topics. And of course, it's important that during these events, participants of the community, they share their insights. So it's important to let them be speakers and share it. And of course, we also organize some one-to-one networking opportunities for participants. So they place their requests that we would like to participate in networking mechanic this month, and then we randomly choose who will meet whom. And it's exciting because they can meet really interesting, really bright people. So we also do some weekly activities like questions, polls in the chat, along with some useful content on our community topic. For example, we find some interesting trend reports, some statistics from trusted sources, and share it with the audience. And of course, we also manage some personal conversations with each participant, because especially if they are business decision makers from large companies, they are very, very busy. And it's difficult for them to prioritize your community, your events, your activities. They have so much on their plate. So it's difficult. That's why we help them with that. We remind about some activities. We talk to them, and this is how they build a habit of joining our events every month, of checking the chat, actually participating in discussions. And this is amazing how, for example, it's just 6 months and they already became very active. They are sharing their problems, sharing some useful materials. They are asking for advice, and they help each other. So I'm really inspired by just looking at it and participating in it and organizing it. Of course, it's very inspiring. And just summarizing the community management part, it helps attracting the right audience and nurturing long-term relationships with them. And it's specifically important if you work with enterprise segments, because there everything is built on relationships and long-term engagement, long-term interactions with your relevant people, relevant companies. It helps build trust and brand recognition. Of course, if they engage with you with some of your maybe content and expertise every month at least, or maybe more often, they of course will remember you. It's important to showcase your expertise in an authentic way. So what we do, sometimes we just share some of our guides, articles, interesting case studies on these monthly meetings or in the chat or something else. So it looks very natural. So it's not like hard selling or something. So this is how we stay connected with potential clients and current clients, and we better understand their needs. So there are many good points here. And we have this positive experience, and we share it with our clients, with our current clients. And some of them, they just listen to it and decided, wow, I also want to build a community for my potential clients, B2B client from, for example, large enterprise. And we started building them for clients as well. So it's an experience, and I love this topic of the community. But we need to go to summarizing everything, and it's important to talk about how to measure social media marketing effectiveness in the activities. So, but before that, I will also check for the questions. Is it possible to join this community for non-large business person like me? I think that it depends on the community, of course. For our community, B2B marketing leaders, we only the criteria is very strict, but there are so many communities for entrepreneurs, for smaller businesses, where you can, for example, if you don't have resources to build your own community, you can participate in some other communities and also share your expertise, share some of your valuable materials, and connect with people inside the community. Me, myself, I participate in many chats and many groups. And I also, now I study at Stanford, 1 year online program, Stanford Lead. They are not paying me for advertising it, unfortunately. Yeah. And they have a community at Workspace, Facebook Workspace, or Meta already. So Workspace, and I also can just connect with people there, build my network. So they also have a conference I recently came back from, and I actually conducted a workshop on LinkedIn. It was called LinkedIn for Professionals, How to Stand Out and Succeed. And it was a great workshop there. And actually, it's a great opportunity to demonstrate my expertise in front of the community members. So you can also leverage some the communities, third-party communities of other organizers, not just your own. I can see the question from Katrina. How does community creation work technically on LinkedIn? Is it a separate community page used for community, separate from my company profile, no, LinkedIn profile? Yes. It's based on LinkedIn group, so you can create not just a page like a company page. You can create a LinkedIn group and just position it as a like industry related community or something else. So yeah, you can do it this way. And it's important that community is not branded. Of course, in the description, you can mention that the organizers of this community is this amazing company. Like we are, for example, mentioning that the ModumUp social selling agency organizes the community B2B marketing leaders. But the community itself should be based on something else. It shouldn't be your company related community, because people are not usually fans of your company. They would like to, the main I would say advantage of the community is that people connect to each other and they exchange some insights, some interesting information and best practices between each other, and you help to facilitate it. This is the point of community, and this is why it shouldn't be around your brand or your company. Of course, there are some examples of these kind of communities around a brand or a company, but usually these communities, they serve as a tech support source, or they are like B2C communities for the brands, like love brands. People actually are attracted to it. So, but for B2B, it's usually non-branded community, which helps people connect to each other and get some value. So, about the metrics, it's important that we have different metrics, like top of the funnel metrics like awareness and reach, middle funnel, and um, just bottom of the funnel metrics like interest and intent and leads and everything related to it. So it's important to measure the whole funnel, right? So because and measure conversions between different stages. So of course it's important for us the views and reach of our content on social media, and who actually views this content. Because what I love about LinkedIn, it provides you some statistics on who views your content. So like industries, even company names, company size, industry I've already mentioned, some job functions, and some other criteria, locations. So yeah, you can learn a lot about who is watching your content. Reach, followers, or connection growth, depending on if it's a personal profile or a company profile, and some other metrics. Of course, it's important to track how people engage with you, like engagement rate, view rate, CTR, some community activities, how they are they active on the community or not. And the bottom of the funnel, usually these metrics are the most important. They are connected to lead generation, for example, response rate, audience interest rates, conversion rate, and some other cost per leads for ads, and some other metrics. So you probably, if you work on social media, if you're a marketing professional, you probably know it's much better, and so you understand it very well. And or you can just start looking, start digging, start reading, because of course for our short webinar we can't deep dive into all of these metrics. And you can use different approaches, because even different companies, they use different metrics which are the most important to them. But uh, if we're talking about business, of course we also track lifetime value of our clients, customer acquisition costs, and some other important metrics which are also related to social media. Because if client comes from social media, we can measure their lifetime value, and we can of course measure customer acquisition costs as well. So like summarizing everything what we've discussed, I would say that B2B social media marketing is a systematic and complex approach, and it contains a lot of different elements, which ideally work all together as one systematic approach, one systematic framework. So personal profiles are the like your main priority because they are the most effective for B2B, especially if your target audience is the enterprise segment. Personal profiles are the best for it. Company profiles supports it. Ads also help and support to building brand awareness and showcasing your expertise. And LinkedIn live events, they help engage your audience and showcase your expertise as well, share some practical case studies and examples, and build loyal audience. And of course, you can also engage influencers to build credibility and trust. And community management is an amazing mechanic to build relationships, loyalty, and account engagement, if we're talking about like account-based marketing among your target clients, target companies. So if for example you are asking a question, I have like limited resources and I need to choose, I can't do all of it, I would choose personal profiles like number one, and maybe community number two, because I believe that community also brings you amazing results, especially if your target audience is from the large companies. If it's from smaller businesses, I probably would choose some other approaches like ads and influencers. But for larger companies, community is an amazing mechanic. So thank you so much. And a little bit about us. We are the ModumUp social selling agency, and we have help clients manage LinkedIn profiles and do some B2B lead generation and build communities on social media to achieve B2B goals. And agency is almost 7 years old. We'll celebrate our 7th birthday this summer. And we work with usually medium to large companies, but we also have many clients among startups and small businesses from tech mostly. And also we have clients from financial industry, logistics and digital, and even from manufacturing a little bit. And we partner with interesting companies like NetApp, Microsoft partners, AWS partners, Exante, Georgia State University, and some other fascinating companies. You can check our case studies on our website. And here are my contact details. So this is my email. If you have any questions, comments, you would like to learn more about something, please reach out. And the QR code is my LinkedIn profile. So I would be glad to connect with you on LinkedIn. I post a lot of also updates and guides, and just I'm trying to share best practices of our agency. Our approach is based on the transparency, and we share a lot. Usually the most agencies and some LinkedIn consulting companies, they keep all of the information and they share a little bit and they keep it by like paywall. But we actually, transparency is important to us and we share a lot. So you can, if you follow us, you can get a lot even without interaction with myself and without paying to us. So yeah, I'm inviting you there, and I would be glad to connect with you and about yourself as well. So thank you so much. And I will check the questions right now. If we have some more questions, I will answer. And after that, we will finish our live stream. So I'm checking the questions on different sources. First of all, our event page on LinkedIn. There we have many comments, but I think no more like new questions. Let me double check. Yeah, I think that Michael is sharing that he's in business development, preparations and project execution. Great. Martina from Cork, Ireland. Great, nice to meet you. So let's check. Maybe I've missed something. Looks like I saw everything. Billy Jane from Virginia. Nice to meet you. actually question, do you participate in calling leads and selling, or the client does it himself or themselves after you bring the lead? Usually in the most of our projects, clients do the calling, but we have a couple of projects where we do. So it depends on the formats and pricing, of course. We can do it, but most of our clients, they do it themselves. I mean, have calls and meetings with the lead spots. Um, Nurlan is saying, I need more training on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I use it a lot every day, but want to get really skilled. How do you use Sales Navigator? Actually, it's a great question. I have a post on this topic on my LinkedIn profile, and I will follow up on that in the comments. So I'll send you the link to this post, but if you're interested, you can find it on my page. There I've just shared some best practices and tips of how our agency uses LinkedIn Sales Navigator, because it's our, like, one of the main tools we use for every client, for every project. So I think there are all of the questions here on the event page. No questions in Telegram, and no new questions from on my personal page. Just thank you from Andre. Thank you, Andre. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for your questions. And I wanted just to share with you all that I'm very grateful that you actually, I'm also competing for your time with a lot of with your like YouTube, social media scrolling, and some professional, of course, like meetings and work related stuff. And thank you so much for spending time with me and learning from me. I really appreciate it. And I'd be glad if you recommend our live streams to someone, to share, because the recording will be still here on the page where you are watching it. So you can share the recording with everyone you want. And yeah, if you recommend our content, our live stream, our podcast, maybe, yeah, I would be really grateful. Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate your time and effort and your questions. So see you around, and bye-bye. Bye. I'm ending the live stream.